yeah, channel. A little different video this week. I guess you guys are seeing this on Sunday. Taking you back instead of looking forward. I keep talking about what's ahead, what's ahead, what's ahead. Man, we've completed so much good stuff. So many projects we were involved with, etc. We've got some projects that we'd like to kind of just note. Will has got some questions for me about each and every one of these projects. Hey, and if you guys didn't know, I just ran a live stream for the last 35 minutes on YouTube and talked about, just had some questions and some general talk with about 20 or 30 of us. Just chilled out, hung out through lunchtime. So join us at some point there. Basically what I'm trying to get at, July, we have done all these double uploads, Thursday, Sunday, giving you guys a couple more live streams. We've been pumping the shorts out this month. Been doing lots. If you don't mind, drop a like on this video. It helps so much. Go check out some content. I'm really hoping you guys have learned something, some type of experience, or look at something differently from this channel. And if you have, drop me a like. Furthermore, let's get into today's project recap video. Northwest Park, really cool project to be a part of. Basically, it was a baseball field that has been let go. No funding was ever really included to renovate, take care of. Of course, they maintain the fields, but we have big youth programs around here, youth baseball, especially, and softball. And Rogers was needing another space, so instead of building a new space, they renoed their current space. And it's actually funny, as you guys are seeing this, the school that is right next door to Northwest Park is where me and Sarah met for the first time in 7th grade. So I know a lot about Northwest Park. It's been in the history a long time. So to say that we got to help out with it, it's totally cool. Totally nostalgic, I think would be the word. The scope of work out there was just underground utilities. The bid package was through a larger general contractor in the area, actually not just in the area, southeastern region of the United States. They have a working office here in Rogers, and they are very specific on their bid packages, whether you don't just get to choose if you want to exclude or include this. You either get to, here you're doing this scope or you're not. They've taken their time and gone through and did these bid packages and bid scopes. And so we got 1,200 foot of sewer and roughly 300 or 400 foot of water in 5 different places. Basically adding hydrants for fire suppression all around the baseball fields. I think there's a total of 8 fields, maybe 6, I may be completely wrong. We brought sewer from the middle of that road, brought it over. That was challenging. That's 17 foot, 16 foot deep, core into that manhole and bring it out into the property, pour manhole, go run up to the trees, pour 2 manholes, change direction around those trees, run up into the middle of those baseball fields and run straight down the baseball fields about 8-9 foot deep. And we dead end at one manhole. Along the way, we picked up all the sewer services, dugouts if they had them. What are those called? Concession stands, snack stands, anything out there. If you flush the toilet, it's going down our sewer line that we laid. And it's pretty cool, pretty unique. But we added 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 or 4 fire hydrants, if I'm thinking correctly, for fire suppression around the fields to, just in case if anything happens, they can actively get to, the firemen can get to water very easily to the fire hydrant. The duration of the project was supposed to be roughly 2.5, 3 months. Our timeline on site went well. We were underneath that, but the overall project drug out. It's still dragging out. As I'm sitting here thinking about it, I was talking about retainage on the live stream with those guys and gals, and still holding retainage on that gig because a tornado come through. If you guys haven't been paying attention to every single video, we did a tornado video. We got hit pretty massively by a EF3 tornado that ripped right through Rogers and spun a bunch of crap, and we jumped in and helped in with the cleanup, etc. But essentially, we had just got done with this job, and the tornado come right through it. These kids were delayed by 3 weeks to play ball, then played ball for 2 weeks. Tornado come through on Memorial Day, and just, you guys can see what it looks like now. Pretty devastating. So to say the least, we're technically waiting for that to wrap up, but that job we couldn't get all the way 100% done because of other subcontractors. And the biggest thing for you guys that I will tell you on something like this is get in, do your scope, and get out. That's in every job, but especially in something like this that is mainly a civil project. Get your stuff laid, whether it may cause a little hiccup here and there. You know, somebody might get a little mad at you. I'm telling you, get your stuff in, get out. Always coordinate and work with everybody on site and we worked with a union bunch. That was the moving here kind of into the challenges of this project. We worked with a union bunch that did the dirt out of St. Louis, Missouri. First time I've ever, other than pipe fitters, something like that, first time I've ever dealt with a pipe fitter union crew running dirt. So man, they moved fast, moved quick. Everyone else out there sucked. And we had to dodge, dive, duck just to get our pipe in and get out of there, get it back filled. And the rain events didn't help either, but there's plenty of that job on the channel. The other challenge, it would be the challenges from my side of things was working with a really, really large general contractor. They expect safety. They expect things to be done a certain way and means their way. Sometimes you even have to pay to be a part of their safety programs, etc. But one of the good things it was for the city of Rogers, and we're heavily involved with the city of Rogers, but the actual working challenges, the material that the guys were digging in was crappy, really swampy. They got through it though. Ran a trench box, had a little bit of struggle coming through those trees, but and not damaging the root balls. That was the big thing. But got around there, got up to the middle of the baseball fields, and they home runned it. The hydrants, oh, I say that. We did have a challenge on one of those hydrants. One of those hydrants, we had to cross the road. What was that, Sunset? And we fought and fought. We couldn't get this thing to hold for nothing. It had 2 meter loops off of it, a 2-inch and a 1-inch, one for domestic, one for irrigation, and a hydrant. Nothing was leaking on that side. Nothing was leaking on the vertical side. We finally found it. It was a drip, short line, 60-foot max. Couldn't find it. It was just dripping and it would not hold. Ended up being a corp that was put in by the city. They direct drill their taps into pipes. So instead of saddling your main line, sticking a corp out of it, basically they drill the corp right into the ductile iron main. So it's a very specific tapping machine, and they come out and do it. Good job. I'd like to do it again. I think I would like the dirt on something like that to kind of mitigate some of the stuff we ran into. But other than that, I really enjoyed Northwest Park. Man, it looks good when it's done too. Old Junction. There was actually 2 projects involved under one contract. There was Junction North and there was Junction South. Basically 3 giant 3-story apartment, basically 40. One had 40 units, one had 60 units, one had 28 units or something like that. 3 on this side, 3 on this side with parking lot in between. The north side of things, the sewer was challenging. The south side of things, the sewer was a monster challenge. I'll explain a little bit more on that. The north side, things went okay. We had a little bit of trouble with one manhole. Again, saturated ground, not the best material, very mucky once you got down there. We ran water. I don't honestly know exactly the footages. That was on the north side, I want to say 1,400 foot of water. We did an entire loop, 2 taps. So that means we looped around the entire parking lot, basically, and tied in on either ends. Massive fire hydrants, 2-inch irrigation, 2-inch domestic, 1-inch irrigation meters, all in the island, smashed together like they do in those apartments. But the north side really wasn't that bad. We got through it. The big challenge was honestly the contractor. The contractor had a different dirt contractor out there. We weren't the dirt contractor. All we did, scope of work, was water and sewer, full utility package again. We finished up the north, but we were told that we could mobilize equipment one time. As soon as they got done with the north, the south would be ready and we'd move equipment over to the south. We'd knock our stuff out. There was a 6-month gap between that and the south side. That is not how it was supposed to be. It was not how it was bid. But the good thing is, gave us a little bit of breathing time, a little breathing room to go knock a few other things out. We came back. The south end of this job had 18-foot deep sewer at a 0.22 and 12-inch. If you guys actually know what I'm talking about, Arkansas state code minimum is 0.30, but basically we had 2 lines that are extremely deep, 18, 19 foot. I say extremely, I know some of you guys are very well versed, but 18, 19 foot in the ground with me, anything 12 foot down is heightened, because 12 foot deep, somebody can go by like 6 foot deep, somebody can go by like that. But once you start getting down there, double stack trench boxes, big machine, manhole shield, that was right on the road, like literally right on the curb line as we were coming through. The guys did an incredible job. 0.22 is, how do I put this in layman's terms? Less than 3 inches over 100 feet in 12-inch pipe. I'm trying to do math in my head, but literally it's not much. It is not much. It is flat. And got out of there successfully. Had a few GPS troubles with where our water was supposed to go. Curb got moved. We used 210 out there very heavily. We used the wheel loader out there very heavily, a trench roller, 308 or a 60G, something like that for a lot of our services, and the fire lines that had to go in there as well. So challenges, definitely that 18-foot deep sewer. Our whole entire scope of work, again, was a full entire utility package. Between the two, obviously it was north of $1 million. It was one of our first $1 million utility packages. Went successfully well, passed everything. They're renting them out as we speak right now. The north side finished out 2 or 3 months before the south side, and man, it looks good. Shout out to Jesse Kempter. He was a great superintendent on that job with the parameters and things that he had to deal with, but he helped us out a lot there, and we helped him out a lot. The Bend was the first job the 210 and the wheel loader ever hit. Me and Sarah had just bought our equipment back when interest rates were low. I knew that if we were really going to keep doing this thing, we needed some big boy equipment and needed to make that jump from Mini X to skid steer to 210 wheel loader. We needed at least something that size. The Bend came along, worked directly with the contractor. Contractor's not local. I say that, he's from about 3 hours from here. He's from Arkansas. Turns out to be an okay guy. We did water and sewer out there. We did more sewer than anything. This was another one where we brought sewer from across the road over into the parking, and we ran right in the parking area all the way around this entire place. 8 manholes, 9 manholes, I want to say. We had sewer services for every apartment complex or apartment building. Obviously, we've got to feed them water. Everything had a 2-inch meter, I do believe. Usually got dead-ended with a fire hydrant. We did 1, 2, 3 different water line sections on that job and piped them in. That was a really good job for us. Learned a lot, learned some education, learned that our equipment is exactly what we needed for that job. That job ran great. The challenges were we used the wrong manhole subcontractor for sure. Got slapped in the face in the middle of that job with using the wrong subcontractor, like I'm telling y'all. found the right subcontractor and he got them finished out. But that almost cost me big time. Just because they're cheap, don't always use them. And especially when you're having to teach them how to do their job. That's the band overall. Water, sewer package for an apartment complex, all sewer services, all the water services, all the hydrants, all the fire lines, everything. Took care of it, totally turnkey pipe package, other than storm drain here locally. I don't know if you guys know this, but dirt and storm drain normally go together. I think the project was bid for about 6 months. It drug on about 9 months to a year, not with a crew on site, but just additional go backs and go backs and go backs. And the damages on this job, oh my God. They would run over our cleanouts, run over our meter boxes. We'd go out there and fix it, and it wouldn't be 2 days later, laying on its side. I can't even make that up. We can put T-posts around them, caution tape, orange fence. They'll just run right through it. It's like they didn't care or something. But we got all our damages took care of. After fixing those damages, obviously, we got to get everything tested again, etc. Passed all the testing, finaled out, and we're moving on. Brownstone dirt, we got in there. The dirt, I didn't even want to do the dirt. This is back before I had a dozer. This is back before I had GPS. This is back before I had everything. And I knew I wasn't prepared enough, but the guy, I had done a lot of work for this guy before, and he's like, man, you're doing the dirt. Just do the dirt for me. Just do the dirt for me. Well, they're townhomes, as you guys can see, and they didn't go as a large-scale development. They were trying to pass them off as single-unit homes and not do a large-scale development, and I got caught up in all of that. You can't do utility infrastructure normally without large-scale development of some sort before the city will accept it, right? So they thought just by shooting all those taps, they were just, you know, doing meter cans. Anyways, I got caught up in all of that. It was a long period of time, 6-7 months, and we're 3.5 years in the job, and it's still not done. Also, every job I've named is all holding retainage still on us. That's that 10% money to use for a profit, you know? So you can buy equipment, so you can pay things off, so you can not have to go in debt here and there. Yeah, so after the dirt, we moved into water, got all those taps done. We had 2 water lines that actually change ordered onto this project and got added from the large scale development I was just talking about. Once it got pushed to large scale, the city said, no, I want a main here, I want a main here, I want a hydrant, I want a hydrant, and this is how you're gonna feed these meters. We got all that in. It was right in the middle of that island between One Uptown and Pinnacle Heights. We ran a water line right through the middle of that. Ran a water line on the other side, 30-something water meters, sewer services galore, did all the sewer services. The sewer main was already existing from Pinnacle Heights. It's basically a project right next door, and we did that project. We laid 1,800 foot of fire line back then. Did all the fire lines for the buildings, did all of the dirt, did all of the water, did all of the sewer. That was our first total turnkey, and man, I would do it so differently if I had to do it again. There's no doubt about it. Definitely save the best for last. This is BBT Airport. We did a taxiway extension, a full taxiway extension from the existing taxiway. We went straight out kind of at a T, kind of like that, right? Basically giving access for 6 hangars to use this taxiway and get out to the initial existing taxiway, get out to the runway. So we're adding hangars basically. This was a very special project to us. Really pissed that you guys don't have any drone footage right now. But essentially there was a mound of dirt. I don't know, let's use my phone here. Here's grade, here's flat existing grade out there that I think it's 1290 is what we called it. There was a couple of hangars are on the existing side here. This dirt went, and it's still sitting out there. You guys see the berm cut into the left-hand side of the existing the new taxiway extension we just did. But basically, we had to cut out a square block section of 20-foot tall earth. It was surplus dirt that the city dumped there years and years ago when they expanded a couple of roads. We took out 4,600 truckloads of dirt and built a taxiway extension. We did all of the dirt, water. We were the general contractors for the city on it. We managed the asphalt, we managed the electrical, we managed a little bit of plumbing, the taxiway lighting, the asphalt. Oh my God. Boy, did I learn something on that asphalt. I know what to look for now. The asphalt guys that we hired weren't running GPS on their stuff, and everything we did out there was done by GPS, so we knew where hydrants were in the ground at. Speaking of that, thank God we did, because I went out there and I was cutting some earth off of that place, and come to find out our water line was put in at the wrong elevation. We had to rerun an entire water line stretch out there. There's a video on that called Costly Mistake. We can put that right here. What an amazing job. Such a cool job to be a part of. Definitely a flagpole job for us. Really proud, super proud of that job, how it turned out, but how it ran, from the guys that were managing, from the guys that were out there in the field to our subcontractors, everything ran really well. The submittal process was a challenge. Fixing to find that out myself. The other challenges were dealing with the FAA guidelines for the first time. That was a mess. Although it was an FAA funded job, we still have to follow FAA guidelines, but they don't tell you that. The other thing I guess we just choose super swampy earth. That is literally Osage Swamp. It is a swamp upon swamp. The water comes out of the ground just standing there. It's a very, very saturated area. That was one of the biggest challenges, is dodging the rain, having 75 calendar days to have it complete, ready to go for the airport to put in use, was an incredible challenge. Took a lot of teamwork, took a lot of effort. You're gonna watch your boy probably stress out over that one, but really excited for that one coming on. By God, am I excited. Overall though, the airport was such an amazing learning experience. We've only been at this 9 years next month. I don't have 10, 15, 25, 50 years of experience. I didn't have a daddy that did this. So it's been bootstraps, hard knock school, learning from experience. And that one was such an experience notch for the belt. Learned so much there, and I cannot wait to get back out there here in a couple of days. That's where the 51 EXI came in. That's where the 360 came in, the 210. We used a bunch of equipment. D6N out there, I've got that thing for sale. We used a ton of equipment out there, but we only had 75 calendar working days to get it done. So we really needed to knock it out quickly. Truly hope this video helps you guys on a little insight of where we've come from, what we've kind of done. It's probably a little longer video. If you've made it to this end of this video, smash a like for me, please. Drop a comment down below. If you've got any sort of question on how we did something, why we did something, I'm gonna tell you because the engineer said so. But keep following along with us. I appreciate all the love and support up to this point. Be looking for the podcast. The new website's coming, merch is coming, everything's coming. And this should be our second to last video of all double uploads in the month of July. Big month for you guys. Been hitting them live streams. I've been hitting a lot of shorts. So until next time, you guys be safe, be kind, and be home.